Hi there, welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm your host, Steven, and today I'll be talking about one of the most underrated movies in Tom Cruise's catalog, in my opinion. When we think of Tom Cruise, you think superstar. He is one of the last greatest and biggest movie stars of our time. When you think of him, you think of Top Gun, Jerry Maguire, Born on the 4th of July, The Last Samurai, Interview with a Vampire, The Firm, Eyes Wide Shut, Risky Business, Few Good Men, Collateral, Minority Report, and then of course the Mission Impossible movies is probably the greatest action franchise of all time. In my opinion, it just gets better and better and better. But there's one movie that I really feel he hasn't got its just due, regardless of what it is Edge of Tomorrow. And it was released May 18th, 2014. The director was Doug Liman, and it starred Tom Cruise, Emily Blunt, and Bill Paxton. So Tom Cruise is basically brought into Europe has been taken over. There's a war with these aliens, and they're just win the war so easily. Tom Cruise is brought in. He's a public relations officer, and they need bodies to go fight. And you can see he's not a fighter in this movie. He is really not a fighter, and he doesn't want to go. He gets there. His first mission, he dies, but he kills one of the aliens, and the blood goes on him, and he realizes the aliens basically use time travel to see how to win all the battles. Right? They go back in time, and that's how they win. And now that he's absorbed the blood, he can die, but go back and start over again. Like one of the advertisements was for the movie "Live, Die, Repeat." So he just lives, dies, and repeats through this movie. It's basically Groundhog Day in a science fiction setting. What I liked about this is that he doesn't play the action hero at first. He's scared, and he dies like right away. His progression is non-linear. There's moments when he's learning how to fight. There's moments he dies really quickly. There's moments he goes a little further than he expects. It's a really interesting progress how he gets from this coward to this leader who's going to stop these aliens, who creates the resistance that's going to stop these aliens. And I like that transition. You can see the way his eyes change, the way his jaw gets tighter. So his determination starts to build slowly in the movie, and that's what I like best about it. There's great action sequences. The aliens look fantastic. Um, Great performances by him and Emily Blunt, Bill Paxton. There's even some funny stuff with Tom Cruise in here. Underrated comic genius in here too. There's a few funny scenes that really make you laugh. Um, but it's a great action sci-fi adventure. But it's that he's not the hero right away, and that's what I like about this the most. That transition, how it builds, and like I said, some moments he gets a lot of ground in, and there's moments he just dies like that, and he's frustrated, he's broken, and I like that. It shows his determination. I love that part of the movie. And it's still to this day, I go back to this from time to time. I think it's a great action sci-fi adventure that you need to see once. If you like Tom Cruise, if you're into the Mission Impossible movies, and you saw Minority Report and you like him in sci-fi, this is another one that it made good money, decent money. The budget was 178 million to make, and it made globally at the time of its original release 370 million at the box office. So it was a substantial hit. It wasn't, I think, the juggernaut like Mission Impossible. There's been rumor for years about a sequel, but nothing's materialized. But if it doesn't happen, that's okay. This is a great movie on its own. If you're tired of Tom Cruise as the action hero, if you want to see him build into one, this is the movie you got to see. I think this is an underrated gem, and he's got so many great movies, but this one I think is underrated lately. Nobody really mentions this anymore, and you should. I think it's a worthwhile watch, and I think you'll be very entertained with this. It's a movie. When I heard Groundhog in a science fiction setting, usually those movies don't work well, and I said, this is going to be a disaster, and it's Quite the opposite. It's very entertaining, and you deserve to see this once. If you like Tom Cruise and you like action, adventure, sci-fi, all rolled up into one with some really great characters, this is it. Emily Blunt is fantastic in here too. Bill Paxton is great. He has a great little role in here too. I think you really will enjoy this. Search this out. Give it a look. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear from you. This is Steven with my under the radar review of Edge of Tomorrow, the 2014 film by the one and only Tom Cruise.